Two and one. Hello everyone, and a good evening. My fellow Toastmaster and guests, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ifitikhar, and today I am going to be your surgeon arm for the club. I welcome you all at Islamabad Toastmasters Club at meeting number 705. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide supportive and positive learning experience where members are empowered to improve their communication and leadership skills, resulting in better public speaker and personal growth. Now, I will request you all to please stand up and repeat the motto of club with me. For better listening, for better thinking, for better speaking, we learn by doing. Please have a seat. Thank you. I again request you all to please put your mobile on silent mode or power off so that unnecessary government is uninterrupted. Today meeting is not a common meeting, it's a very charming meeting, and that meeting is Humorous Speech Contest. The purpose of Humorous Speech Contest is to make you more funny, more laughter, and more comical. So, are you excited?
Yes!
Great. Now it's time to hand over the meeting to the president. So, please put your hand together. Welcome, President of ITC, and not the president, but the king of ITC, Abrar, Wani.
Good job, by the way.
This is the humorous contest.
So let's have some laughter therapy in the beginning of our speech. Every one of you with me. What happened to you? Well, my dear Toastmaster fellows and distinguished guests, I would like to welcome you all meeting number 705 at Islamabad Toastmaster Club. It is again not a normal meeting, but a meeting with respect to a contest called Humorous Speech Contest. Today, our exuberant speakers, inshallah, they will show their humor skill and they will tell you that how to make people laugh. There is also a reason of laughing, even if a speaker is not successful to be laughed. Why? This is what we learn in Toastmasters. The sandwich approach. Well, my dear Toastmaster fellows, if even you feel that there is no any punchline, I will request every one of you to please smile. Well, my dear Toastmaster fellows, one thing I would like to reiterate here about that all the speakers who are participating in the contest, though this will be explained by the contestant, the rule as well. But I will request you to please use the language which is not objectionable. Your stories and anecdotes should not be objectionable and should not contain any unethical wording. It's because in order to make someone laugh, there is some unethical wording that has slipped out of your mouth. So I will request you to keep on your eyes on those words which are unethical and objectionable. Well, let's have some introduction from our guests. Though it's not a normal meeting, but still I can see there are some guests appearing here. First of all, sir, I will request you to please introduce yourself to the club. Yes.
I've been here for some time. Some time back I have been a member also. So I'm looking to join again.
Thank you very much. well, we have too many guests today, but I can see the timing while we are already ahead. So now I will immediately proceed towards the contest, and for that I'm going to invite a very charming, a very exuberant personality who recently joined Islamabad Toastmasters Club. The time she joined the Toastmasters Club, Islamabad Toastmasters Club, she made us proud. She won the table topic awards straight away in her very first speeches. So I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Laiba Zahra.
Panel of judges, chief judge, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Assalamu alaikum, and I welcome you all to the contest. Now, humor is such a nuanced genre that when you talk about it, everyone is a bit taken aback, they shy away from it. Why? Can't we make everyone laugh? It's not just about laughter. It's about conveying your meaning in such a way that the people sitting in front of you get it while they are being amused. Look towards the most exemplary ones, be it the slapstick comedy of Charlie Chaplin or the sarcasm filled of that done by Ammar and Mohammad. All of them had a profound meaning to their content, their performance. So today, we will be looking forward towards you, all of the contestants, that you will explore that aspect of your personality that highlights humor. So just don't take it as the face value, that is humor making others laugh. It's much deeper than that. So let's talk about the rules. These are taken from the Toastmaster Rule Book 2022-2023. For your information, judges, contestants, and role players are already briefed in the online room. All contestants will be present throughout the contest in the room, and the speaking order has been established through our online balloting. I request all of you to put your cell phones on silent mode and not to use them when the speaker is on the stage and during the contest. Please ensure active listening and pay attention to the speaker as a way to show him respect. Avoid side discussions and unnecessary movements during the contest. Some of the rules regarding timings. Well, time will start when the speaker will be called here and after he has given first verbal or non-verbal gesture. Any inactivity on his part will directly start after 10 seconds. Time will start. And speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. For qualifying, you have 4:30 minutes, and for this, you will be given 7:30. That 30 seconds is the grace time over 7 minutes. Now, the timer will show what the signal means. Green signal will be displayed at 5 minutes and will be kept displayed for 1 minute. And this yellow signal will be displayed at 6 minutes and it will be kept displayed for the next 1 minute. The red signal will be displayed at 7 minutes and it will be kept displayed till the end of the speech. No signal will be given for overtime. After every speech, there will be a 1 minute silence for the judges to mark. And after the final speech, there will be a 5 minute silence for ballot counting and finalizing the results. As this is an English language contest, all the contestants will use the English language and you are requested to translate any other language that you are using for punchline or catchphrases into English. And the judges will especially note this, that they have done it. No speaker should give any insensitive or biased comments. That includes religious biases and political and racial and so on and so forth. Okay, each contestant will be introduced by his name, the topic of his speech, then topic of his speech, and his name. For instance, Toastmaster Abrar, Wani. Happiness, Toastmaster Abrar, Wani. Speaking area is the stage, and this floor up till this line is floor. I'll be sharing the speaking order during attendance. That's better, I believe. And now I will request Chief Judge Toastmaster Azeem to please speak.
Thank you so much, Contest Chair, Toastmaster Zahra. So, ladies and gentlemen, how are you all? Excited for this wonderful event today? Okay. So, let me ask you guys, what is the most important and the effective ingredient to spice up the dish of our life? Any suggestion?
Laughter.
Yes, laughter, yes. It's the theme of our today's meeting, and today we have gathered here that humor is something which is enjoyed by all, irrespective of the age, gender, caste, or you live in any hook and corner of this world, you always enjoy humor. And this is something which can bind us all together and generates happy and positive environment. That's why I was reading somewhere that the laughter is one of the best antidote for what? To reduce our stress, anxiety which we feel, which we face these days quite a lot. And yes, I do agree with this that the sense of humor is something that which is inbuilt in every one of us. कोई ये कहे कि मेरे में sense of humor नहीं तो it's not possible. Every one of us has this character inbuilt in us. And I'm very sure that today we are witnessing some of the very good that sense of humor, and I'm very confident that we are going to get a lot of antidote from you guys, and for sure the spice of the humor factor this evening. Expecting to receive a lot. So now, being Chief Judge, let me brief you regarding few rules and regulations, because all these contests are in light of the Toastmasters International, and when the Toastmasters International is there, we have to follow certain rules, regulations, and I reiterate all of you, whatever briefed by the contest chair, you all follow all those in true letter of spirit. For the convenience, I will again reiterate few of the things which you need to take care of. First of all, the timing. As earlier briefed, that timing is very important. The timing will begin as soon as the contestant comes here and deliver his first verbal or non-verbal communication to the audience. That might be any word uttered by him, but as the theme is the humorous, so the contestant might come here and do any stage act or any noise. The time will start after that. And the other important thing is, those who is noting the timesheet will only be submitted not to the judges, co-judges, not to the participants, not to the contestant, but only to the Chief Judge. And further, yes, protest. It can be launched by not everyone, by the contestant or the co-judges, with whom to the contest chair or to the Chief Judge, when before the announcement of the results you can launch. That may be regarding to the eligibility and the originality. And now with reference to the scoring and grading, that is equally important for both the judges and the participants. First of all, the speech development, effectiveness, speech value, and the audience response. These four are the contents of the speech, and it collectively carries 55 marks. And 15 marks for the speech development. You need to check the structure of the speech and the support material which the contestants are going to use. And 10 marks for the effectiveness. Obviously, need to assess if the purpose of the speech, that is very obvious today, that is achieved or not by the contestant. And then 15 marks for the speech value, by analyzing the logic, ideas or thinking that is used by the speaker. And the last component of the content of the speech is something which is very difficult to avoid, and that is the response from the audience. Yeah. And the next important segment is the, after content, these 4 points, the next important point is the delivery. You need to check 3 things there: physical presentation, the speaking area, vocal variety, and the manner in which this speech is delivered. All these three carries 10 marks each. So 30 marks for the delivery of the speech. And then last, obviously not the least, is the language. It carries 15 marks. 10 marks for the appropriateness of the language. What does it mean? That your speech should be easy to understand. Don't use any jargons or any abbreviations. Or if you use, then elaborate it to the audience and to the co-judges. And 5 marks for the correctness of the language. So, these were all regarding to the rules and regulations for the contestant and the co-judges. And already much have been briefed on the contest here. Now it's officially time to kickstart our contest officially. And to take the proceedings from here onwards, I again request the contest chair, the host of the evening today, Toastmaster Bilal Zahra, please.
Let's go back to school. Let's have it in seriously. Toastmaster Abrar Wani.
Present.
Toastmaster Jawwad Rehman. So Chief Judge has already permitted us for the start. I'll be calling the first contestant. Toastmaster Abrar Wani. Ha 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 Toastmaster. Ha 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 Toastmaster. Toastmaster Abrar Wani.
Do you know what is the most pathetic living creature on this earth? Yes. You. Toastmaster. I was searching a word in a dictionary, one word for that line. Most pathetic living creature, and only one word came into my mind. Toastmaster. 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 My dear Toastmaster fellows, contest here, and most handsome, so-called anonymous judges. Toastmaster, the most pathetic living creature. Toastmaster, you know why? For 2 reasons. There is commonality between husband and Toastmaster. Number 1, husband, the biggest liar on this earth. 99.9% husband says that they are scared of their wives, except but 0.01% say they are not scared of their wives. It's a Humorous Speech Contest, so don't So that 0.01% are the biggest liar on this earth. Why Toastmaster is a liar? They never give true evaluation. Whenever they come on stage, they will approach about positivity. They only use sandwich approach. How they use sandwich approach? I will tell you a story. I was giving a speech. The speech was excellent. I spent almost 1 minute and 10 seconds. That was my first speech, and that speech was about what was your first childhood memory. I came on stage and I said, childhood. I was small. I was small and I was very naughty. Very naughty. Extremely naughty. Too much naughty. I was so much naughty that it was uncalculable. I spent almost 1 minute and 10 seconds. Evaluator came on stage. I was quite disappointed. I knew what I did. And he said, "Wow, what a speech! Abrar, it was an excellent speech. You used pauses very nicely. You spoke for 20 seconds and there was a 50-second of a break pause." There was another incident. I gave my prepared speech. Again, it was a very great speech. When I went off the stage and I was listening to the evaluator, he was giving me recommendation. "Abrar, What a great speech. And what a subject you have used. But I will commend you. If you could have used a prop, it would be a great speech. And I was looking like, you know why? The speech was about my wife. Now, what prop I can use for wife? After the meeting, I asked for the example. What prop I can use? And you know what he gave me? Well, my dear Toastmaster fellows, that's why I say Toastmaster. Toastmaster. Number 2. A husband has no respect at home, same as like a Toastmaster. When I used to go home, one day, my 11-year-old girl, she had a pain. And she asked me, Baba, I have a silly pain in my stomach. I said, well, your stomach must be out of order. My wife was sitting nearby, got a chance. What? Out of order? It's not a machine. It must be upset. Oh, Toastmaster! Well, my dear Toastmaster fellow, same like husband, a Toastmaster don't have any respect. For example, I was driving car. My speed was beyond the allowed limit. I was stopped by a police officer. When he stopped the car, he came to me and said, Sir, can you please give me your license? Sir, actually, I'm the president of Lazarus Goya. Sir, I'm a Toastmaster. Oh, yeah, Lazarus Goya. Who was asking my license? I was insisting I was president. After continuous insisting, he grabbed me, put out of the car. Aapki presidency kada. That means, come out, I'll tell you who a president is. Same like husband. No respect. My dear Toastmaster fellows. That's why I say, what? Toastmaster. Toastmaster. One day I become an accountant. And I was explaining my report. Well, my dear Toastmaster fellows, so I have counted too many ahs and ums and ouch. Because I forgot there is no ouch there. And I was explaining now. Well, Mr. Ifitikhar, Toastmaster Ifitikhar, there was 10 ahs and 2 ums. Well, my dear Toastmaster fellows, we are here Toastmasters for the purpose of learning. That's why we call Toastmaster. But you can make yourself Toastmaster by making yourself learn. And at the end I will say, Toastmasters the power, Abrar! Mr. Contestant.
Toastmaster Ifitikhar Ali Khan. My first day at Toastmaster Club. My first day at Toastmaster Club. Toastmaster Ifitikhar Ali Khan.
What was your perceptions about Toastmaster before joining it, before coming here? Yes, anyone please? What was your perception about Toastmaster? Yes.
When I read the word first time, I thought that those guys make toast out of bread.
Okay, anyone else? Yes.
It was pretty scary the first time I visited the club in a meeting, and I was sitting at the back and people were giving speeches. It was pretty scary that I would be on stage.
Thank you so much. When I heard the word first time, so I also said, Toastmasters are a place where someone expert in toast making, and we will eat it. So, but the situation is totally different here. Thank you so much. God bless you. Judy. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Assalamu. When I came first time in Toastmaster Club, the meeting was already started. I just entered from the room and sat in the third row and was observing the situation with my naked eyes and toast in my mind. I said, the meeting was already started. Table topic session, table topic master was calling one by one. When he called the first one, and just he started a word, I listened. This, I heard. When the second time I heard it, then I was confused. And why is someone doing such type of it? I wanted to see him. And just when I saw him in the last row, 60 plus man, blonde hair, was doing this. I didn't concentrate on speech because with the frequency of speech, the bill was increasing. I was thinking about it, how to stop that man. Suddenly, I saw it. This one. This one. Someone is just like this one is. No, my mind is with those. Someone is just like doing their action. And this, I was totally scared. And my mind is scattered. How to concentrate on speech? But fellow Toastmasters. How these tools helped me? It was amazing. I am here due to these tools. In front of you. Fellow Toastmasters, the next thing which I observed from the first day up till now was clapping. Everyone has said, Guru mein jaise clapping, Guru mein jaise gaate. If you see a word, then they will throw it. Sometimes the speaker confused. Yeah, what did he say? What did he say? That just clapping. This is the other thing, and it will encourage also me and also all the speakers here. The other things which I observe in Toastmasters is also interesting, amazing, very great, which is always control, always in time, and always outstanding. On the first day, when I attend the club and then go to break, then there are conversations with the senior Toastmaster, junior Toastmaster, guest, and so on. So I asked from Bilal. I asked from Bilal meet me, sir, how are you? I just asked him about the meetings, what is going on there. why it is someone is doing the Excel like that. And Bilal, senior Toastmaster, VP Education at that time, he told me in reply, don't worry, sir. Only take a membership. You will learn a lot. So that was very interesting experience for me. And he explained me in such a way that I left the meeting in the middle and took a membership. Fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster is really the place where you go every year. But remember, every road of success is under constructions. Good. Thank you.
War games, Toastmaster Fatima Zahra.
I have personally always hated wars. I don't really like them. Our history, our textbooks, our historical memory over time is filled with wars constantly. Our ancestors tell us about wars and what they saw. But I never really understood what war is. It's a weird phenomenon. Don't cross that line or I will kill you. What is this? Is this the body? Don't cross that line or I will kill you. I think for me it's a very feminine concept. Don't cross the line or I will kill you. Everyone tends to insist that war is a manly thing, so let's stick to that for now. Fellow Toastmasters, honorable guests, Madam Chair, good evening and thank you for having me here. Take World War I for example. Just because a Serbian killed an Austrian in Bosnia, so me, a person from the Indian subcontinent, has to go join the British Army and fight the French in Syndrome. And what makes this the most infuriating thing is that so much frustration, so much fighting, definitely winners and losers, but no winning ceremony. No presentation ceremony. It's like watching a cricket match without a score. I believe personally that at the end of the World War II, someone should have walked onto the streets of Berlin and like, ladies and gentlemen, what a terrific match. After 5 years of breathtaking action, we couldn't have asked for a more fitting finale. First, I would like to call upon the stage the losing captain, Adolf Hitler. And he's Adolf Hitler. So, how was it like 2 years in war? Was it tough? Yes, it was tough, especially losing this one on the home ground. So, what do you have to say about this? What's the morale in the camp? Well, the boys are a little low on concentration, there was a lot of views in the wicket. Thank you. Better luck next time. Now I would like to call the winning captain, Franklin Roosevelt. So what was it like? World War II champions. Yes, it was a fantastic match. The boys played very well. But the morale was low. I think we've come a long way from Pearl Harbor. But we did show a lot of character in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki series. So what would you think is the future of the champions? Well, I think it's a tough series for test series with Russia and a bilateral series with Vietnam. Weather conditions are poor, but we're looking forward to it. And I think that's it for World War II, but please should stay tuned for the T20 series with Afghanistan coming up. Thank you.
How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing, my friend? Toastmaster Mohammad Abbas.
Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. How are you doing, my friends? Good? I'm asking you guys, come on. Awesome. Okay, good. Well, there is this thing, and luckily, sometimes when I am on the podium, I make everybody laugh. But today, it is a humorous speech and I am very much serious. Even though I am not serious, but I am serious. And this is a big problem, right? Comparatively. By the way, recently in the university, I was a bit bored and I was looking for some people to talk to them. Even though that I am extrovert, but I am not extrovert. I am extrovert, this is what I think. But a friend of mine told me, Abbas, you are not extrovert. But I was looking for some people to talk to, and there I saw 3 beautiful people. You know, by people what I mean. I went to them and I said, hi. And she replied, bye. I was like, come on, that's not how things work. But, like, it went that way. The thing is, now I am telling myself that Abbas, hi, just be on the podium, it's fine, everything is fine, but the podium is telling me that Abbas, bye, get out of here. Because you don't have anything to talk about. And yeah, along with it, even though I was looking for so many things, I thought that I am going to make everybody laugh. But I cannot do this thing. Well, why? Because this is how things work for me. If there is no reason to make people laugh, I make everybody laugh. But if today this is humorous speech, and I don't have the stomach to make anybody laugh. See, she is so serious. Right? She is not laughing. Right? Nobody is laughing. And this is a problem. Yeah, it's a huge problem. I'm not laughing. I'm just smiling. Okay. And recently I was listening, okay, let me come to some serious stuff. This is really serious. I know that nobody is going to laugh, and everybody would be like, what is wrong with this person? Like this is a humorous contest, and still he is saying something very much philosophical. But let me do it anyway, this is how I am right. Look at, I saw in the Ammar eyes that yes, you are right, Abbas, you are a bit weird. Yeah, I'm weird. I am doing things the other way around. Like always, I do this thing. Recently, by the way, my father was, sorry, not my father, but my friend was telling me that Abbas, yes, he was telling me that Abbas, this thing has happened to me. And along with it, then my father died. And when he said that my father died, out of the blue, I was about to laugh out loud. Even though this is so serious thing. Someone left this world, right? And it is not a simple thing. But still, I was about to laugh. And I laughed. And when he saw me that I am laughing, he was looking for justification. And I said that, by the way, yesterday I was talking to this human being, and I was talking to this human being, I was looking at her. To some other human being. I made that thing up in milliseconds. However, yeah, but let me come to the serious thing, right? Okay, why not? Some day back I was listening to Jordan Peterson. How many of you know about Jordan Peterson? Come on, this is 21st century. He is the most influential intellectual in the Western world. You guys should know about him. Even though he is not a funny person, yes, but still he is a great intellectual. I was listening to him, and he is so much into rationality and responsibility, and he was talking about things. He was saying, and I quote, I have a fair bit of respect for atheist types because they spend a lot of time thinking, and that's generally a good thing. The fundamentalist Christian types, mostly of the American persuasion, who suffer from somewhat understandable illusion that the biblical corpus is the same epistemological and ontological status as a scientific theory, when it clearly doesn't. If you are a serious student of religious thought and a serious philosopher, one of the things that you can't learn is that whatever stories the Bible is telling is a scientific theory. And so the idea that whatever the people who can't, the Old Testament creation account were doing something akin to scientific theorizing as a mistake that would only be made by people who don't know how to distinguish between different kinds of food. And so they don't like to be confronted by the right atheists, the evolutionary types, because it blows the foundation of their ethos apart. I am serious, and I blowed the foundation of your ethos, not in a way that I blowed your foundation of ethos, but you guys were thinking that I am going to give you guys a very funny speech. But the things were the other way around, right? And everybody is so serious now. I see everybody, look at Zahra, oh my gosh, come on. She scared me because she was looking at me with a bus, what is wrong with you? This is not a philosophical class, come on, stop it. But still, right? It's fine, this is how I am, right? Okay. But in the last, I have to wind up my speech, right? Because it would be like a river without any ultimate direction, like there will be no Pacific Ocean or some other ocean, right? Like stream nowhere, and there is nowhere outside of this world. So the thing is that yes, I met people, they said hi, she said bye, so bye, thank you so much.
My name is Laiba, Toastmaster Laiba Brohi.
Laiba. 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 This was the response of my Khalu to the guest when they asked about my name. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, do you know the languages? Have you ever heard about the language Sindhi? Yeah. In Sindhi, there's a thing called Laiba. Laiba, it means, I don't know. So the guests were there asking for newborn baby's name. They were asking, tell us the name of the kid. And my Khalu was like, Laiba. And they're like, no, tell us the name. And he's like, Laiba. And at final, he said, please tell us the name of the kid, please. Laiba. Laiba is the name of the kid you are talking back. And the whole crowd just started laughing. That was the beginning of my life. That's how my name came. Sooner or later, a day came when I was in school. A thing was famous school, Safeguard. Everybody knows that. Does anyone know about Safeguard? Who does not know? There was and a new teacher came and she was asking the students about their name. When I said, my name is Laiba, and she's like, oh, life boy. No, I'm not saving the life of anyone. But from that day, many of those people in that class, they started calling me by the name Life Boy, Life Boy, Life Boy. No, I'm not Life Boy. My name is Laiba. I am Laiba. The name given to me was Laiba. I'm not a Laiba and I am not Life Boy. Then I thought, from future, if I am ever asked, I'll tell my full name. That would be Laiba Brohi. And everybody should know about my name. But the things didn't stop. I went further, and they're like, people, some like singer ones, those who are busy with listening to the songs. And the thing came out. I went, they asked, what's your name? I said, Laiba. Oh, Laido, Laido. No, there is no connection about Laiba, Laibo or Laido. They are making me connecting to a song that's Laido, Laido, Laido. No, I'm not Laido, but I was being called that thing. Things went frustrating for me, and then soon afterwards they say, okay, tell your full name. And I said, my name is Laiba Brohi. And they're like, oh, you are Baloch. No, I didn't say anything about Baloch thing. Brohi is different. B-R-O-H-I is Brohi. And Baloch is B-A-L-O-C-H. Baloch is in no way in connection to the Brohi. That's how my name
and my life became funny, a funny thing for the people, and which I hated a lot. Okay, guys, the main thing was, my name is Laiba, so I wanted to tell everyone that there are many people who find it very difficult to find or say your name. Sometimes they will call you with some names which you will find like, what even? Means I've never thought about somebody calling me with such a name, but you should always remember when someone says your name wrong, just correct them on the spot. This was a thing which I learned, and one day a lady called me Laiba, and I was frustrated. I said, no, my name is not Laiba. Please call me Laiba Brohi. She's like, don't tell me how to pronounce the name. I know how to pronounce. I'm saying the right thing. I said, please say Laiba. She's like, Laiba. I said, Laiba. Laiba. I said, Laiba. She's like, Laiba. And I was like, no, this is a never-ending game. It will continue forever. And so, yes, please say my name correctly. Everyone just say my name correctly. Just one time. I want to hear my name properly. Call my name. Thank you everyone. Allah Hafiz. I wish sooner or later I'll be called Laiba properly. Allah Hafiz.
Current politics. Current politics. Toastmaster Shahzeb Iqbal.
Okay, if someone cannot hear me, please raise your hand. Okay, that's not so funny. What do you think, guys? Who is our next Prime Minister?
Bilal.
Anyone other? I will give you my answer at the end of this speech. Fellow Toastmaster, distinguished guests, respected judges, thank you for having me here. 5 days ago, when I have accepted the challenge of Humorous Speech Contest, the anxiety became started in my mind. I started searching Google, YouTube, and books, but I find nothing special. Then I contacted my fellow Toastmaster team, Jawwad Rehman, to help me in this situation. I sent a message to him to give me some idea about the content. And he said, yeah, I'm also in the same anxiety. I was surprised to hear this from the travel topic contest winner. Then I sent a voice message to respected Mohammad Abbas, King Mohammad Abbas, who is not here. I said, give me some idea about the content. But no response came from there. And they called me. Now there's 3 days left. On such a day, I have decided to talk with my mentor and tell him the whole situation. But again, there was no response either. On Sunday morning, my brother called me and said that go to the Journey of the Hearts Conference, Islamabad, where 10 Maulvis will give speeches. And believe me, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., I was searching for the humor in that very religious speeches. Just one day left. I came to my wife and request for help. She said, what is the task? I said, humorous speech. She said, well, I am not that funny. I said to her that our president has more funnier wife than me. She said, how? I said, in the 700 meeting, when Dr. Jawwad told us again and again that no one can say no to Mr. President. Mr. President's wife from behind said, I can. My wife said, well, that's not funny. She's a brave woman, I want to see her. Then my wife told me that, why not you make your content about the current politics? At that time, I realized I understand the whole matter. I realized that I am facing the same problem which is the whole nation problem. I realized that Mr. Jawwad is like Imran Khan. Winning the table topic contest, he became a prime minister. But in the next contest of evaluation, he was disqualified with the vote of no confidence. And now again, he's trying to make ties with the establishment.
Okay.
I think that Team Mohammad Abbas is like me and Shabazz. He is sitting from Prime Minister and he doesn't care about the common people. Dr. Mohammad Jawwad is like Bilal but to Zardari. Who also want to be a Prime Minister. I mean a leader. It's not here. And Mr. President is like our ex-president, Mohammad Abbas, the king of reconciliation. Who want to be who want to be a president forever. and he want to see Dr. Jawwad, Bilal as the next Prime Minister. But I must tell you all that don't forget about our new army chief, General Azeem Bajwa. Our chief judge. He had no tension and had nothing to do. He's just watching. Because whoever become a Prime Minister, the power will remain with him. Thank you so much.
Exactly the opposite. Exactly the opposite. Toastmaster Mohammad Bilal.
How many of you had a dream something big in life? Great. I also had a dream to get admission in university, to make my life better and happy. by spending my time with beautiful girls. I had a dream to find a girl to whom I can live my life better. And finally, we would have a wonderful love marriage. Dear fellow Toastmasters, dear contest here, finally, I found a girl in shape of my wife who is
Exactly the opposite.
Dear fellow Toastmasters, I was so brilliant in mathematics and in English,
Exactly the opposite.
before getting the admission in university, somebody told me about a fantastic thing, and that was CR. He described as CR is a person who is always surrounded by the pretty girls with beautiful smiles. And he is a person who is the most respectable person in the class, especially by the boys. How lovely he made the image of CR. I experienced exactly the opposite. I still remember that moment, the very tough competition among the 17 candidates of CR. And I was elected as a CR. By the way, keep in mind, I was elected CR, not selected CR. Yes. So, that was a time when I was focusing to improve my English speaking skills. And I was so keen to learn the new word of English. And somebody told me it is fancy to say guys rather than boys. So I was in the class. Suddenly my ma'am called me, invited me actually to address my class as a CR. I thought that is the best opportunity to impress my class by speaking English. So here I am at the rostrum. The girls and gays. The same laughter was there. But I was so motivated and very optimistic guy. So I recovered my energy and again I went to the rostrum. The girls and gays. My ma'am was also laughing at me. I thought there is something wrong in it. Maybe in my English. But I instantly shifted my speech from English to Urdu. Khawatino Hazrat, main aapka naya CR hoon. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your new CR. Dear fellows, that was not even embarrassing for me. Do you know what was the embarrassing moment for me? When my fellow told me the meaning of gay. So, I can't imagine when I thought and imagined what actually I was saying to my class. That was really embarrassing for me. So I thought, I'm not gonna face again. I'm going to quit my university. And I called one of my best friend, Syed, and told him the whole story, that how I was embarrassed. And I'm so dull. Syed, you know, I'm so dull. I'm not able to even continue to study in university. And he told him the whole story with a great laughter. Ha 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 ha! Bilal, nothing is wrong in it. Nobody is given to punish you. And by the way, are you sure that they are not gays? And he told me the different meaning of gay, like happy, cheerful, and that was a moment that made me a bit satisfied. I said, okay, no worries. Then I continued the study. Dear fellow Toastmasters, in everyone's life, there is a moment that made that person crying. Literally, at that night, I cried. I screamed. And why? I said to Creator, why me? But with the passage of time, I studied, I learned English. At the end of the session, once again, one of my class fellows requested to my teacher, Sir, request to Syed to give a speech, but speech must be in English. Once again, I came on the stage and I said, dear fellows, do you know, I researched the rest of my sessions on two things. The number one was word gay, and number two, you guys. Do you want to know what was my finding? Yes, mistakenly, I uttered that word, but later on, I found exactly the same. So, dear fellow Toastmasters, being a human, we do mistakes. But instead of whining over our mistakes and taking it personally, we must enjoy and move forward for the better future. And today, I realized that if I had not made that mistake, I wouldn't be able to give this speech. Even I wouldn't be able to have a trophy for my club. So, dear fellow Toastmasters, I request to all of you, be embarrassed. Allow yourself to be embarrassed, to be failure. You will get the result exactly the opposite.
Realize the value of memories. Realize the value of memories. Toastmaster Mohammad Abbas.
Madam Contest Chair, Toastmaster friends, and distinguished guests. When it comes to eating, how many of you would like to try something new? Raise your hand and say, I.
Aye.
Thank you. And I am also just like you. Because on a summer evening of 2001, when I was 10 years old, and I was waiting to try something new, my elder sister, Uruj, because she was very good at cooking, so she was making a new dish. And that new dish was just a leg piece of chicken. And in order to make that chicken leg piece, she was using a new recipe. And me, along with my 8 siblings, with 9 people, we were just curious that what is going to be the taste of that chicken. And we were just hungry and we were just waiting for it to get ready. And we were just getting more hungry due to its spicy, juicy, and mouth-watering smell. And when finally it was ready and all the siblings were looking at that chicken piece, we heard a weird sound. What was that? Actually, it was the bell of our door. So I had to go to the door and open it. And it was the best friend of my elder sister, Furuj. So we welcomed her to our house and she came and sat. And after a few moments, my generous elder sister took that plate in front of her. And she was just looking at it, and while gossiping, so she took the first bite. What? Is it fish? My sister said, no, it's not fish, it's chicken. But it just tastes like fish. And we were dying to have that, and she was just praising it. So she started gossiping again, and after a few moments we realized that 50% of it was gone. And after finishing the 50%, she said, "Ruth, is it fish?" And we were like, please something for us. But no, she continued gossiping, enjoying the talk with her friend, and again. And after finishing the whole plate, when even the bones of the chicken were in that plate, she finished it. And when it was on the table, she said, "Ruth, it was fish!" And my sister said, "No, it was not fish." She enjoyed it and she finished it. And we just kept watching. And at that evening, I was along with all my siblings, I was very angry because I couldn't get to taste that. But as my sister was always cooking new dishes, so after a few days, sister had cooked something new, and I approached and I said, "Ruth, is it fish?" But when I opened, it was dal. And another day, Ruth cooked something, and I said, "Ruth, is it fish?" But when I opened, it was aloo matar, potato and peas. So this how. At that moment, we were very angry at that guest. But now we have realized that, because that was just a little story, but this story was powerful enough to spread smiles on your faces even after 20 years of that incident. So this is the power of memories, that when we have such things, my dear Toastmasters, I want you to think about it. We all have such situations in our lives. Just think about your siblings, think about your kids, think about your parents. We all have such kind of incidents happening in our life every day, but we feel anger about them. So I would just like to tell you that instead of feeling anger about them, feel good about them. Because now 20 years have passed, and whenever I go to my sister's home, she is married now, and whenever I go to my sister's home, now she gives me different kind of dishes. For example, if she gives me biryani, even if she gives me beef, whenever I take the first bite, and I say, "Ruth, is it fish?" So actually, I just want to conclude here by saying that yes, memories have a very great importance in our life, and instead of feeling angry about such situations, we should be happy that we are actually making the memories, and these memories will live forever. So I would just like to end by saying this, that we never realize the value of something in our lives until it becomes a memory. Over to you, madam.
When China rules us, no way. When China rules us, no way. Toastmaster Syed Hassan.
Thank you, contest chair, Toastmasters, and China is our next door neighbor and our time-tested friend. So as we get more closer and aligned strategically with China, we are having this bombardment from Western politicians and Western media. But let me tell you, there is no substance and truth in it. So I just thought that I should create a hypothetical situation in which we would see the scenarios in case China rules us. So what could be the popular scenarios? When China rules us, I'll make sure that I reach office in time. And if my office starts at 9 a.m., I'll make sure that I reach office at 8:50 a.m. And that doesn't mean that I'll leave office at 5 p.m. I'll leave office at 8 p.m. That's how Chinese work. What next? Meetings of Toastmasters Islamabad will start in time. They will end in time. and all the Toastmasters would reach the place before 6:30 p.m. Maybe we can afford this. What would happen next? If I break the traffic signal, and the next station, my name would be displayed along with my picture on this e-billboard, and my friends may think that I've started modeling, but the caption would read otherwise, and it would say, "Shame on you, you break our traffic rules." And can we afford these kind of shaming as a society? Like, if you are going to your office and driving and you see the picture of your wife on that billboard, you might think, what crap she has done now. And similarly, your wife sees your picture on that billboard and she might think the same. And similarly, students going to university and they, when seeing the picture of their teachers, and similarly, teachers seeing the picture of their teachers, may be thinking what they have done. So I think we, as a society, cannot afford this kind of shaming. And what follows next? How do we greet them? Like, we have this greeting tradition of, jappa kind of thing. We call it hug, in Pashto we call it hara, if you're familiar. So once I did this with Chinese friend, and he gave me big disapproval by saying, "Why you are harassing me publicly?" And then I explained that this is part of our culture, that we do this hug kind of thing. He was okay, but not our Arab friend. Arab do this beyond this hug thing, and if you are, you have lived in Middle East, you would know that they have the tradition of exchange of kisses. Like, in some Arab countries they do 2 kisses, and in some Arab countries they do 3 kisses. So luckily, our friend was from the country where they had 2 kisses. Like, don't get me wrong, I mean, they were the same gender and on the cheeks. Yeah. So he did the same with the Chinese friend, and Chinese friend gave him a big disapproval by saying that, "Why you guys have to harass me publicly? First this Pakistani guy, and now you are kind of harassing me publicly." The Arab friend was not like me. I explained that this is our cultural thing, but the Arab friend was a bit naughty, and he responded back by saying, "Tell me, do you have problem with this kind of greeting, or you have problem with doing it publicly?" And what happens to our food culture? Imagine you go to the meat shop, and there you find, along with mutton, chicken, and beef, different kind of animals like lizard, snake, frog, dog. Yeah, so I leave it to your imaginations. But I'm pretty sure you won't enjoy lizard pasta and snake kebabs, and I'll leave it to your imaginations. So don't forget the one-child policy. Yeah, you get it right. So how are people in the rural areas would respond to that? Because they are in a habit of 6, 7, 8, and their life rates were like 9 or 10. So, and how our religious clerics would respond to this? Like, they are also supporting this theory of the more the merrier. And last but not the least, the biggest segment that would be out of the job would be gynecologists. Imagine, like, we'll have mass migration, but where in the world? Like, where they would go? To Europe, they are not interested in producing kids. America and Canada, they are also not interested in producing kids. So guess which country in the world Yeah, you guessed it right. Afghanistan. So they'll be going to Afghanistan and they'll have a bright future over there. But trust me, this is not going to happen. We'll not stop on producing babies. And this one-child policy would be a big failure if it's implemented over there. And what happens to our entertainment industry? Guess what? Bruce Lee getting more violent than Sultan Rai and Mustafa Qureshi, and Jackie Chan getting more funnier than Amanat Chan. Those who know about comedy, he's a popular comedian. And our film stars like heroines singing with the numbers like Paak Cheen Dosti Zindabad. I mean, yeah, that's not the kind of song that enable our heroines to do these dancing moves, because they are used to those Bollywood numbers. So the biggest segment that would be affected after gynecologists would be those heroines. And the third category, what happens to our political parties? Because when China rules us, there won't be this party or that party, there would be only one party, and that would be the Communist Party of China. So what happens to the culture of our talk shows, and what happens to the future of Geo and ARY? I think this one party system won't work here, because we are used to this culture of fighting amongst parties. So I have a good news. The good news is that China is aware of our work ethics, aware of our cultural intricacies, and they know how we work. So they will not rule us, and they will not change us. The only people that can change us are we ourselves. So there should be a desire to change. Over to you.
Cinderella, Toastmaster, Ammar, Ahmad.
Cinderella, मेरा इंतजार करना, मैं रास्ते में हूँ, बस आ रहा हूँ मैं. Meaning, Cinderella, wait for me, I am about to arrive. When Siddharth wrote this song in 1995, he didn't have a clue that there was a child, just 8 years old, whose life would fit perfectly with this song. Because I have been getting late, left, right, and center, and making everyone around me a Cinderella. Cut to scene 1. I am lying on my bed in my room, and it's 11 a.m. My office time is 8 a.m. And I am woken up by this beautiful ringtone that everyone should remember, could remember. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, my boss. Hello? Ammar, कहाँ हैं आप? आज अपनी साइट पे जाना है. Ammar, where are you? You have to go on. Sir, मैं बस आ रहा हूँ. Sir, मैं रास्ते में. I'm on the way. I jumped out of bed to get to my office, but I am thinking to myself, I just made my boss a Cinderella. Cut to scene 2. There is hush, quietness in the room. One guy is presenting his C++ project on the stage. My instructor, Madam Atia, is sitting at the back, watching this guy's project quietly. And I am outside, waiting to enter the room. Like always, I am late. And I am wishing that no one notices when I enter. And I quietly open the room. And the instructor, Ma'am Atia, looks at me sternly and she's like, you are always late. I quietly sit on the chair and I just thought to myself that I just made my instructor a Cinderella. So, I think everyone has an internal clock, reference clock, where they have the idea of time, how much time they have got to reach a certain place. And sometimes it is off by a few minutes, like you guys might have 1 or 2 minutes late here and there. But my internal clock is off by 2 hours, straight away. And if I have to reach at 6 p.m. somewhere, then I have to aim at 4 p.m. Then I can reach exactly at 6. And I remember another instant.
my exams were going on. I was living in the hostel and I was preparing, and I thought my exam was at 11, and I woke up and saw that 11:30 is. I rushed to my examination hall, and the examination hall's doors were closed. And I knocked it. No one replied. I desperately knocked it. An examiner opened the door. Well, exam started half an hour before. Why are you here? Sir, I will catch up. I will write something. Please let me in. And as I entered, he says, okay, alright, get in. And as I am going through the rows, I notice no one is familiar to me. My course fellows is not sitting there. I think maybe there is a combined exam of some of my seniors are there. And I reached the examination sheet where attendance is displayed, and I noticed that my exam was 2 hours earlier, and I completely missed the exam. So, do you remember 2012 movie when the guy? How many of you have seen the movie 2012? For the reason I think would be 2009, somewhere around that time. Okay, in that movie, there was the writer. When the movie starts, he was going to pick up some kids, and when he called someone, his boss calls on the phone and says, "I'm hurtling to you right now," and he was not even in the car that way. So my life is like that, if you sum it up in some way. And then I attended the first meeting of Toastmasters. I still remember it was in Hangout, and it was the first meeting. Toastmaster Muzammil was president, and it was 6 p.m. and the meeting was about to start at 6:30. And when I saw that no one is there and I am the only one, I called him. I thought that this Cinderella syndrome is right with the Toastmasters. No one maybe arrive at 7. So I called him. Oh yes, we will arrive. We will start the meeting. And exactly 6:15, everyone starts to arrive, and the room is filled. The meeting starts exactly on time. And I thought to myself that this Cinderella thing is not going to work. I have to arrive at Toastmasters on time and start the meeting and attend the meeting on time. So this Toastmasters is a really wake-up call for every one of us. As a culture, we are always getting late in marriages, marriage ceremonies and everything. But the people who value time are the ones who get valued back in life. The people who respect time are the ones who get respected in life. So, that's all. Over to you.
Little things, Toastmaster Jawwad Rehman.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Ellen Hopkins said, sometimes it is the little things in life that matter the most. I was a kid when I heard it. I heard it again. I wondered what those little things were. Life passed on. I wondered, and one day I saw someone walk towards me in this dress. It was at that moment that I realized what those little things were. It was the little holes in front of the eyes. Because they do surely matter the most. Sir, do they matter right now? Little things that matter the most. I mean, have you ever wondered how come a person can wear this specific dress? Let us talk about some aspects of what a person wears, how he wears it, how he chooses a dress. I mean, this dress, it beats all other dresses in every aspect. I am a huge fan of shalwar kameez, by the way, and this dress nails them all. And I'll tell you how. Let us talk one by one about the criteria. First of all, you should know that this dress is worn mostly by women in KPK. They work so hard in their lives from dawn till dusk. They clean, they make food, tea, lunch, everything is catered by them. And then they wear this dress. And one wonders how they do it. I mean, can you guess how much breeze passes through this dress? The mathematical modeling behind this dress is just perfect. It welcomes the breeze to enter from below, freshen up all your organs on the way, and then exit from here, these little roads. I mean, the mathematical modeling and the fluid dynamics incorporated in the design while it was being invented. It is just awesome. Okay, let us talk about freedom. I mean, is there even a challenge out there? This dress, it is the definition of freedom. Freedom didn't even exist before this dress came. We often celebrate our independence or freedom by wearing white shirts and green dupattas. Ladies wear this. You wear this, and even gentlemen. I'm telling you, if you wear this, you will forget all your casual trousers, all your casual wear. You wear this, afterwards you wear a trouser, I guarantee you will feel imprisoned. Why? This is the very definition of freedom, people. Let us talk about elegance. I mean, have you ever seen someone walk in this? Sir, can you walk towards me a bit? I mean, it is as someone is gliding without a worry in their lives. At peace. No worry about anything. You just go. You don't care what happens. You, specifically for the ladies, I mean, if you are irritated by people ogling at you in any way, you go, you dress up, you do makeup, you straighten out your hair, and then you are so much irritated by people ogling at you. Wear this dress. It won't even ruin your makeup a bit. Trust me on this. Okay, let us go to other factors as well. Let us say you want to sneak out of somewhere, and you don't want people to see the dress you are wearing. You just lift all this. Just lift it over your head. And just go carefree anywhere you want. Remove it at the place of your destination. Nailing it again. Okay. Still not enough. We'll go about it. We'll go on. You know, you can snack underneath without people knowing it. Right? Let us say you are talking to someone and you're bored and he's going blah, 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 blah. Just take out a Lay's and just start munching about it. Really, sir? Okay. You just take out your mobile and you start streaming on Facebook without people knowing it. I mean, you can stand and you do this and you're actually streaming on your Facebook. If you are bored. It is a one-way eyesight barrier. It is just like that invisibility cloak of Harry Potter, if anyone has seen it or read it. You can see everything and no one can see what you are doing underneath. I mean, all your problems of your life are solved right here. Still not convinced. Okay. You need a leave from office? Just tell a friend of yours to wear this. And just sneak out. You won't know. Your boss won't get who is underneath. You can even pay someone to wear this dress. Any one of you who ever thought of becoming a thief just by chance? I mean, anyone can choose this career, right? This can hide a mobile, cash, jewelry, anything you want to sneak, anything. Unfortunately, people, fellow Toastmasters guests, people are often laughed at when they wear this dress. In our KPK, even outside, people are laughed at. Why? Just because of a dress? We were given a thought. We just assume things sometimes by just wearing a dress. He may be poor, she may be poor, she's conservative, she's not liberal-minded, she's uneducated. She has not achieved anything in this world. I mean, did you even know that most of the women, they wear it by choice in our province? It is a symbol of dignity to them. It is a symbol of security to them. It is a matter of choice. Even there is a Toastmaster who is a distinguished Toastmaster, a club president, and an area director as well, who is completely veiled, and no one has even seen her face. That is the achievement people can have. Sometimes people may be different, and they may be one of the most nicest members of Shahzeb Iqbal. Thank you.